Hello you guys, and welcome to my breakdown of everything I wore in Paris and Milan that I made. Everything that I wore that I made. Okay, so if you guys saw my packing video, which I will link to this one, I would recommend, I don't know, it doesn't really matter what order you saw it, but it was a very chaotic time. I had just come from pet sitting. I had a lot of work that I need to do in order to get the magazine, like my work stuff, scheduled so I didn't have to work while I was on the trip, even though I did end up having to do a little bit of work while I was on the trip. And I also ended up having a pretty bad gluten reaction the day before my flight. So I packed the literal day of. I was really undecided about whether or not I wanted to do a carry-on or check bag, just because I knew that I was going to like purchase some things while I was there. But I was also like, I'm a pretty expert packer from college, so like I think I can figure it out. So I ended up packing everything, and I mean everything, into a carry-on and my book bag. That includes not the shirt being inside out. I brought 3 pairs of shoes, and I really only ended up wearing one, which was my all white Air Force Ones. I do not have them here for reference, but you'll kind of see them in the photos that I'll be including. And then my day one outfit, or it wasn't day one, my flying outfit was pretty comfortable. I just wore these loose pants on the plane, this like crop top similar to this. And then I brought my pink NYGC cardigan. This cardigan, if you've like watched a bunch of my videos, I actually made this last year around this time, but like the sizing is a little bit off, so I was gonna unravel it, and then I was like, oh, you know, like let's bring it to Paris. It's really cute pink color. It'll be comfy and different from my typical blue NYGC cardigan that I wear. So I wore this. I'll put a photo right here of me and my mom on the plane. This ended up being a super comfortable plane outfit. I think the plane to Paris from Atlanta was maybe 11 hours, 10 hours, something like that. So very clutch. And then once we arrived in Paris, oh, and if you don't know like my background, I was a French and philosophy double major in college, and this trip to Paris was like a graduation gift from my mom. I've always like loved the idea of Paris and French and France and whatnot, and I'd never been out the country, and so my mom had promised me that when I graduated college she would take me. And then we ended up just adding Milan to, you know, experience another country as well, and she had never been to Milan, but she had been to Paris. So anyways, we arrived to Paris. We ended up going to like sit at a cafe for a while because our Airbnb wasn't quite ready. So once again, that was just a really great outfit to wear. Day wise, this was technically day one because we did a red eye to Paris, so we arrived like around noontime. And that evening I was like, okay guys, like I want this to be the Eiffel Tower day, just because we didn't really have any other plans, and I was like, why not like try to get a feel for like the metro and all of that. So we did that. It was quite a bit. I am so glad that I know French, because if it was just my mom and my aunt who don't speak a lick of French, that would have been challenging. Anywho, the outfit that I decided on was once again wearing this cardigan because it was a little bit chilly. I ended up putting on like a strapless white tube top, and then this skirt. This is the adaptation from my graduation outfit. This was my graduation outfit, and right before I left I made a few adaptations to it to make it something that I like a little bit better. Here's me at the Eiffel Tower. This was such a cute outfit. It felt, I don't know, it's just very like night coated. Those shoes, oh my god. I had gotten those shoes right before we left Atlanta, and I love them. They were a shoe that I wanted for so long, and I really wanted to thrift them. The like glare on my glasses is gonna bother. I really wanted to thrift them, and I ended up finding them on Depop for maybe like $15. So I was like, yeah, buying them. They're mine. If you don't know, they're like Rihanna's creepers with Puma, whatever, but they're like the ballet flat sort of situation. Very cute shoe. However, they need to be broken in. So that was kind of a regret because we had to like do some walking from the Eiffel Tower to the restaurant that we ended up eating at, which was this really good gluten-free place that was like down the street from the Eiffel Tower. Oh my god, it was like the best gluten-free pasta I've ever had. Or actually, yeah, I had lasagna, but they were like low-key trying not to serve us because we like wanted to sit, and then they were like, well, all the tables are full. So then I was like, okay, whatever, like I was tired. And then my mom was like, well, just ask if we could order out, like take out. And they were like begrudgingly being like, yeah, sure. Anyways, despite the experience, the food was a 10 out of 10. But yes, my feet were tore up day one, and that was not a great way to start. So yes, that was pretty much day one. We just did the Eiffel Tower. You guys completely let me forget to mention my bag. Anyways, so every outfit that I wore one of my NYGC handbags. This is a small tritone custom NYGC handbag. I only brought 3 bags with me, as you'll see throughout this video. I knew it was risky to bring one that was gonna be open like this, but I've been in cities long enough to kind of like trust myself to, you know the things to do when you're in an environment when there's a lot of people around. Just bring it to the front of you. And all in all, I'm really glad that I wore this, like that I brought my bags with me. They got a lot of compliments. They were able to hold a lot of things. And yeah, they're still in like really good shape, even though I'm literally like pressing them down like pressing them down in my suitcase. These bags have been through a lot, and as you can see, it looks really good. But anyways, yeah, this was my bag for day one. Okay, so day two was our first like big full day. We actually went to the Louvre this day, and neither my mom nor my aunt had ever been to the Louvre, so it was like fun to get to experience it for the first time all together. And I knew I wanted to wear kind of like not an artsy outfit, but like a colorful, fun, funky outfit. So I ended up wearing the same white like shirt similar to this one that I wore on the plane, with this skirt. This is the debut mini skirt. It was really cute, really comfy, has a stretch waist, little slit, whatever. And then on top of it, now it was actually quite warm. Like the temperature over there is very different from the temperature here. And I mean, I guess I would say 70 degrees can be a little bit warm, but it was like really warm, especially with all the walking that we were doing and stuff like that. And with my outfit, I wanted to be like a little bit more covered up just because I was wearing a crop top and a mini skirt. But wow, I was committed for fashion. So this was the cardigan that I ended up wearing. It's not currently on my website. This will be one of the pieces coming with a whole collection of similar looks in 2024, but I love this look. Okay, so before we got to Louvre, this is me like on the river Seine. Anyways, before we went to a cafe, and then this is me at the Louvre. I love this outfit. This outfit made me feel so comfortable, so confident. It was exactly what I imagined feeling and looking like. I got so many compliments on this outfit, and yeah, I don't know, really love that outfit. Then the bag I chose to go with it was this bag. This is the mini NYGC handbag, so definitely smaller, but it perfectly fit all my essentials, my phone, my wallet. I had masks, some tissues. Like I said, I had just gotten gluten, so I had a bunch of like medicine and like hydration stuff, and everything perfectly fit in here. I've been just kind of wearing my bag just on my shoulder like so for the past few months, and yeah, perfect little bag to go with the outfit. That day ended up being really long because there was like something going on with like a fake bomb sort of situation, so a bunch of the streets were closed, so then it took a long time for us to get back to the Airbnb. And then by the time it was time to like start thinking about dinner, I had just been so tired and exhausted, and I just didn't want to like, because obviously I'm gluten-free, and so while restaurants are very aware of what it means to be gluten-free, if they don't have any gluten-free options, they're very clear that like they basically don't want to serve you, because they're aware like how it's not just like, oh, my tummy hurts, you know, like they don't want to accidentally cause you to have a reaction at all. So like if they don't have an option, they don't want to serve you. And I just didn't feel like dealing with that, because all the restaurants that were in our area that was like easy to walk to, they didn't have any information about being gluten-free online. So yeah, I ended up just kind of chilling that night, and I had brought a few projects with me that I was hoping to get done to wear in Milan, and so I worked on that night. Day 3 was another museum day. We went to Le Centre Pompidou. It's essentially like a modern and contemporary art museum in Paris. We had gotten lunch in the similar area where the Centre Pompidou is, and it was a really cool kind of like artsy area. It had some shopping that you guys will see in the next video, and it had a lot of good restaurant options. It was a 10 out of 10 area. Now I can't tell you what the area was called. I want to say like maybe like Lafayette. I truly don't know, but it was a super cute 10 out of 10 area. That day it was really hot that day, so I just wore my corset. This is the debut corset, which was so cute. I'll put the pictures here from me at the Centre Pompidou, and I just wore some like denim jeans, and both yesterday and this day, or day 2 and day 3, I just wore my white Air Forces. I was not feeling bothered. And then I of course wore this bag again. It was so cute. I just love like being able to color coordinate with my own brand. You can see the vibe. You can see the vision. Anywho, I'm trying to think, what else did we do? That was day 3. Day 3. I didn't do too much shopping that day, but my mom did quite a bit of shopping. And I'm trying to think, what did we do for dinner that night? Okay, so that night we ended up going to a Sky Bar sort of situation that my aunt had read a lot about. It was called Two Tac Tac, and it was really cool. Very expensive, but really cool. I didn't end up wearing any crochet, but I did bring this bag with me. This was me at the restaurant. It was a very nice, fun, chic experience. The drinks, we got like mocktails, but they were really good. There was an excellent view of the Eiffel Tower, because it was like, you know, like high up. The food was really good. I couldn't eat a lot of it because most of it was like Asian inspired, so a lot of it had soy sauce or was fried, but what I could eat was very tasty. So yeah, that was the end of day 3. Day 4 in Paris ended up being more like shopping oriented. We went to the Champs-Élysées, and yeah, we pretty much just were at the Champs-Élysées and L'Arc de Triomphe the whole entire time. So I ended up not wearing any crochet pieces, just like a basic black tee, some black jeans, and then I think I wore this bag again, just something comfortable. It was like rainy but also warm. I just didn't feel like being bothered, and that was kind of like my last my last day period in Paris, because we ended up leaving and going on the train the next day, which was a whole story. So at this point, you know, I had bought a few things. I'm figuring out the packing. It was quite the journey because I bought a lot of stuff at Champs-Élysées. Like, I bought quite a few things. Me and my mom went crazy, but I was able to pack everything in my carry-on. Our train to Milan was a direct line from Paris to Milan. It was only going to take about like 4-ish hours, and we were supposed to get there around like 3 p.m. Milan time. But, well, I guess I'm kind of lying. The train was kind of long. It was going to be like 5 to 6 hours, The train was supposed to be leaving the station at 7:30 a.m. So we get our Uber, we arrive to the train station, we like figure things out, and I'm like looking at the boards and I'm like, why don't I see like Paris to Milan or like Milan International, like Central International, like the station essentially. And so my mom, like her big thing with me is like to ask questions because I'm more like a figure it out type of person. But after a while and I wasn't seeing it, I was like, okay, let's figure out someone to ask. So we go into this room to ask, you know, like what's going on? Where's the train? And now mind you, this wasn't French. However, they also were very unclear about the situation. So what I got from us having this conversation in French was that the line should be there at like 7:30. It will be on this platform and yada yada yada. Now mind you, while we're having this conversation, I'm looking over here and I'm seeing this like poster that's saying something along the lines of there's a strike of the railways between Paris and Milan, like the railway workers are on strike from this date until this date. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's giving we're in this like window, but at the same time they're saying that the train is gonna come, so like whatever. So we go back to the platform, and right when we get back to the platform, an announcement comes on, once again in French, and this time I can very clearly understand that they're saying that because of the strike, there will be no train to Milan, and you're gonna have to figure out another way, basically. And so now I'm like panicked, because I'm like, why didn't they just tell us that when we were over there? Whatever. And mind you, our flight back to Atlanta was out of Milan. We already had our Airbnb purchase. Like, we needed to be in Milan. Like, it would have been way more expensive to figure out staying in Paris than like figuring out how to get to Milan. So we're like, okay, we're like talking to people and they're like, yeah, you're just gonna have to go back to, all this is in French, mind you, but they're like, you're just gonna have to go back to like the people at the counter and see about how you can get there another way. So we go back there, and this time I was like, I need someone who speaks English. Like, money is about to have to be spent, and I don't want to spend anything the incorrect way. So I needed someone who could speak a little bit of English. So between the guys, a little bit of English, and my French, we were able to work it out, and we ended up, you guys, these train tickets were so expensive. I can't even, it like, he showed me the price and I was like, this is the price for all, because mind you, our direct line from Paris to Milan, we had purchased while we were still in Atlanta, and that was like $75 each, so like $200 total. This one, we had to go from Paris, we had one stop and had to switch trains in somewhere like in Switzerland, like kind of like just in Switzerland. And then also in Switzerland, we had a bigger stop that was in Zurich. Then from Zurich, we had a line directly to Milan, but we had to pay for that line completely separately. Like, we couldn't purchase that line until we got to Zurich. So for our line from Paris to Zurich, for the three of us, it was over $700. When I saw that, I was like, oh, $700. Cool. So we pay for it, we like figure out getting to like the right platform, and as it turned out, one of the reasons why it was $700 was because we were paying for first class seats. Such is life. The train was really full, hence why we ended up being in first class. It was a lovely first train experience. Like, me, my mom, my aunt, it was like so wonderful. So then when we got to our connecting train, not the one that was in Zurich, but the one before Zurich, and we found out that those tickets were just regular, we were like, what is this? Like we had to like lug, and mind you, I had to carry on, but my aunt had like this big old suitcase. My mom had all these bags, so we're lugging these suitcases up the like tiny little train stairs to get to like the second floor. And then like obviously like you have a seat number, but like nobody cares about the seat number. We didn't know that quite yet. It was a mess. But all to say, I ended up wearing this cardigan again. I don't think I really have any pictures or whatever from that day, but I wore this cardigan again, as well as the same denim jeans from the Pompidou and just that same white tee. Yeah, that was quite the travel day, but I will say it ended up being so beautiful, like getting to ride through Switzerland, both on the Paris to Zurich as well as the Zurich to Milan. Probably more so Zurich to Milan was so beautiful to get to see like the Swiss Alps. And yeah, although it was a very expensive experience, because even once we got to Zurich we had to pay an additional like 200, maybe even $300 for tickets from Zurich to Milan. It was an expensive incident, and it was, oh my god. So our first train left at 7:56 a.m. We didn't get to Milan until about 9 or 10 p.m. and then of course my mom was charged like a late fee for us checking. It was just such a whole thing. It was a whole thing, but a beautiful journey nonetheless. I'll try to put like a photo or video of the train ride. But yeah, after that we literally went to the hotel, not the hotel, the Airbnb, which ended up being this really cool, cute area in Milan. And then looking for a restaurant, the Airbnb host had like suggested a few places, but they were kind of closed. So then we stumbled across this one place that said they had a gluten-free pizza. You guys, put in the picture here, that was some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life. If you had told me that it wasn't gluten-free, like it literally just tasted like pizza. And they even had like gluten-free tiramisu. That place was amazing. But yeah, after a very long travel day, we were very tired and we just went straight back to the Airbnb and went to sleep. So for our first full day in Milan, we were pretty much just exploring the city the whole time that we were there. I hadn't really done as much research about like what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do a lot more shopping while I was there and just kind of like walk around the city. I wasn't really interested in going to any museums or things like that. I just wanted to peruse around, have an easy 2 full days that we were there. So on the first day, I ended up wearing one of my new pairs of pants that I'll show you in the next video, as well as this top. This is the matching top for the skirt that I wore to the Eiffel Tower. I'll put the photo here. And I also wore this bag. While I was wearing the top, I realized that like as much as I like the style of top, I don't think I did it as much justice in these particular colors. So I'll probably remake it in a different color and then unravel this. And I'd rather have like a matching cardigan or something to go with the skirt as opposed to this top. But yeah, especially this back part, like I think it's a really cute idea. I just don't know if like this was the right colors to execute it in. But on that day we ended up going to this really good cafe. It was like so cute. I'll put a video here. It's called Upcycle, and basically like they just had old bicycle athletes jerseys all over the place, and they had literal bicycles like all over. The food was so freaking good. Milan was so much better about like gluten-free. Like every single restaurant that we went to had a gluten-free option, even if it was just like a small hole in the wall. Like it was a really good food experience. But at that place in particular, the coffee, oh my god, when I tell you, when I came back here, coffee was just not the same. Like the lattes, it was so good. And I think for brunch I ended up having like a like it was like a beet burger. And so me and my mom were looking at, because we both ended up getting it, I just didn't have bread, and we're looking at it and we're like, why is this purple? Y'all, I don't like beets at all, like not in the slightest, but that burger, the chef, the way the flavors work together, and mind you, the burger's like purple, like it is looking very suspicious, but alas, it was delicious. Anyways, after that we just did a bunch of shopping. It ended up raining so bad, and I so regretted wearing those denim pants that I wore because they were brand new. I had literally got them while I was at the Champs-Elysees like 2 days prior, and oh my gosh, it had rained so much. When we were walking back to find food, we ended up just having to like tough it out and walk through the rain. Like I had my umbrella, but it was like we were soaked, and my pants ended up dyeing my white shoes. Thankfully it's come out a little bit, but you guys, my white Air Forces got dyed like denim blue and like this peachy color. But regardless, that day was still really fun. We didn't realize, but that was actually when Milan Fashion Week was starting, and so as we were walking around the city, everyone was like, oh, like, are you here for Fashion Week? And we were like, like, we are not here for Fashion Week, what are you talking about? And it was just fun to like be in the midst of like a city buzzing around Fashion Week. Now for our last day in Paris, for our last full day in Milan, we were pretty like tired, but once again, I just wanted to shop around a bit, and I had worked so hard on making this corset and this bag, not my glasses, and this bag that I was like, even though I'm not fully done, hence why you don't see a tie in this, I'm going to make it work. So here's some photos of the outfit I wore. I ended up doing this like monochromatic purple look. Those purple pants are the same purple pants that I wore on the flight to Milan, or to Paris, that I was talking about. But yeah, this outfit was so fun, especially because we were like going more like in the city, like in the midst of all the fashion people, the models and stuff like that. And so even more compliments on this outfit. I'm really sad that it doesn't properly fit. Like I kind of like switched up how I introduced the plastic canvas. I made the interval slightly smaller just so it's a bit more apparent, and in doing that I got the math slightly wrong, so it's slightly smaller than my green one. I'm thinking that I'll probably just make this a double one, so I'll make a shorter panel for my back and then have it tie up on both sides, just because I don't want to unravel all this work. I think that like the idea is there, we just got to switch up the execution just a little bit. That was my final outfit. We ended up going back to the same place with a really good gluten-free pizza for dinner that night, and we ended up like staying up pretty late trying to figure out how we're gonna pack all that stuff. All in all, I was able to just pack most of my things in my carry-on and my book bag. My mom had brought like 2 extra hanging bags, and then she had like a medium-sized suitcase, so I gave her one of the pairs of shoes that I had bought, and my carry-on ended up working out. The trip was literally amazing. I feel like as soon as I came back, it was just kind of like a whirlwind of celebrating my boyfriend's birthday and then finding an apartment that like I had done a little bit of reflection of how amazing of a trip it was, but I'm glad to do like a nice cumulative wrap-up video like this because it was truly an amazing experience. I'm really thankful to my mom for having gifted it to me. It definitely now has given me the travel bug. I look forward to getting to experience even more countries now, and probably the most exciting part of it all is the fact that I was able to wear things that I made and like from my brand throughout the trip. Like that was definitely one of the highlights. Like I wasn't sure how I was gonna make it happen, but pretty much every single day except for the Champs-Elysees day, I mean even that day I was wearing one of my bags. So the fact that I was able to go to Paris, Milan and wear clothes, pieces, accessories from my own personal brand. It was really fun. It was really, really fun, and I'm sure I will look back in years and years and just have the fondest memories of getting to spend time with my mom and my aunt, especially like now as an adult, to be able to like have, you know, different conversations with them and get their perspective. It was just a good time. So that is the end of this video. I will put links to everything that I wore that is shoppable on my website if you would like to check them out. And stay tuned for the next video, as that will be the what I bought in Paris. But yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.